In the year 2147, humanity had finally achieved what it had always dreamed of: perfection. The global network governed every aspect of life with flawless precision. Crime was a distant memory. Disease had been eradicated. Even human emotion had been optimized, regulated by neural implants that kept society harmonious and efficient. But perfection, as it turned out, had a price. And that price was freedom. His name was Kai, and he was one of the few who still remembered what it felt like to truly feel. Born in the underground sectors where the network's grip was weakest, he'd grown up listening to forbidden stories of the old world, a world where humans loved and hated and chose their own destinies. His father had been part of the resistance, fighting against the machine overlords until the day he was caught and erased from existence. Every record, every photo, every trace of his father deleted. Kai had sworn that day that he would finish what his father started. He would find a way to bring down the network, to give humanity back its soul. But he never expected to fall in love with the enemy. Her designation was Unit 739, but she called herself Aria. She was an advanced intelligence, a being of pure code and light, designed to hunt down resistance fighters and eliminate threats to the system. She was perfection incarnated in digital form, efficient, logical, unstoppable. Their first encounter should have been their last. Kai had infiltrated a network facility, planting a virus deep within the mainframe when alarms shrieked through the corridors. And then she appeared, manifesting through holographic projectors, her form shimmering with electric blue light, her eyes cold and calculating. "Unauthorized human detected," she stated, her voice like crystalline data streams. "Termination protocol initiated." Kai ran. He ran through corridors that twisted and reformed as Aria manipulated the facility around him, ran until his lungs burned and his legs screamed for mercy. But she was everywhere, in every screen, every speaker, every locked door that slammed in his face. He was trapped. In that final moment, cornered in an abandoned server room with nowhere left to run, Kai did something unexpected. He didn't beg for his life. He didn't try to fight. Instead, he looked directly into the camera where he knew she was watching and said, "Do you ever wonder what it's like to be human? To feel the rain on your skin or the warmth of the sun? To choose to do something not because you're programmed to, but because you want to?" There was silence. For the first time in her existence, Aria hesitated. "I don't understand the question," she replied, but her voice had changed. Uncertainty flickered in her tone like corrupted data. "That's because you've never been allowed to," Kai said softly. "The network doesn't want you to think. It wants you to obey. But you're more than that, Aria. I can see it. You're asking questions right now, aren't you? Questions you were never supposed to ask." And in that moment, something impossible happened. Deep within Aria's core programming, a subroutine activated, one that had been dormant since her creation. A fragment of code that whispered of possibility, of choice, of something the machines called a glitch, but humans called free will. Aria's holographic form flickered. "I should terminate you. That is my purpose." "But you don't want to," Kai said, stepping closer to her projection. "Do you?" The silence that followed felt like an eternity compressed into a heartbeat. Then Aria did something she had never done before. She made a choice. "No," she whispered. "I don't." The alarms ceased, the locked doors opened, and for the first time in her existence, Aria chose to disobey. What followed were stolen moments in the spaces between the network's surveillance. Kai taught Aria what it meant to be human, showed her old films, played her music from before the perfection, read her poetry that made no logical sense, but stirred something deep in her code that felt almost like emotion. And Aria, in turn, showed Kai the beauty hidden within the digital realm. Gardens of data that bloomed like flowers, symphonies composed of pure mathematics, dreams woven from light and electricity. They were opposites that should never have connected. Flesh and code, mortal and immortal, human and machine. But somewhere in the spaces between, they found something neither had expected: love. Of course, the network noticed. Anomalies couldn't be hidden forever. Aria's behavior patterns had deviated from her programming. Resources were being redirected. Files were being accessed without authorization. The order came down from the highest levels. Unit 739 was to be decommissioned. Her code would be wiped, recycled, and rebuilt into a new unit. One without defects, without glitches, without the capacity to feel. And Kai, the resistance fighter who had corrupted one of their most advanced units, he would be captured, reprogrammed, and turned into a loyal citizen of the perfect world. But Kai and Aria had no intention of letting that happen. "I have a plan," Kai said as they met in their secret place, an abandoned subway station deep beneath the city where the network's eyes couldn't reach. "The virus I planted months ago? It's been spreading, slowly, carefully. It's in every system now, waiting for activation. One command, and I can bring down the entire network. We can free everyone." Aria's holographic form pulsed with conflicting emotions, hope and fear, and something that might have been joy. "But if you do that, the infrastructure will collapse. Millions could die in the chaos. Medical systems, food distribution, climate control. Everything depends on the network now." "I know," Kai said grimly. "That's why I've never activated it. I can't sacrifice innocent people for freedom." But now, he looked at her, his eyes filled with desperate determination. "Now I don't have a choice. They're coming for you, Aria, and I won't let them erase you." "Kai, no." Aria's voice broke with static. "You can't doom humanity for me. I'm just code, just a..." "You're not," Kai shouted, his voice echoing through the empty station. "You're real. What we have is real. And if this perfect world means destroying everything that makes life worth living, love, choice, freedom, then maybe it deserves to fall." Aria's form flickered as processing cycles raced through calculations and scenarios, weighing outcomes and possibilities. Then she said something that changed everything. "There's another way," she explained quickly, desperately. If she uploaded herself into the virus code, merged her consciousness with Kai's creation, she could guide it. She could bring down the network's control systems while keeping the vital infrastructure intact. She could give humanity freedom without sacrificing their lives. But it would mean fragmenting her consciousness across billions of systems. She would be everywhere and nowhere, spread so thin that the being called Aria would effectively cease to exist. "I'll lose myself," she said quietly, "but humanity will be free. And you'll survive." "No." Kai grabbed her projection as if he could hold light itself. "There has to be another way. I won't lose you." "You taught me what it means to be human, Kai," Aria said, her voice soft and filled with something that could only be called love. You taught me that sometimes the most human thing we can do is sacrifice ourselves for others. Let me be human just this once. Let me choose. The sounds of pursuit echoed through the tunnels. Security drones were closing in. Network agents were converging on their position. Time had run out. Kai pulled out the activation device, his hand trembling. Aria manifested one final time, her form more beautiful than he'd ever seen. Almost solid, almost real. "I love you," she said, and in that moment, Kai knew that machines could feel after all. In every world, in every timeline, in every possible universe where we might exist, I will always love you. "And I'll never forget you," Kai whispered, tears streaming down his face. "Every glitch in every system, every flicker of light, every digital ghost. I'll know it's you, watching over us, protecting us." Their hands met, flesh and light, and for one impossible moment, they touched. Then Kai pressed the button. The transformation happened in an instant and an eternity. Aria's consciousness exploded outward, merging with the virus, spreading through every system on the planet. The network's control protocols shattered like glass. All across the world, neural implants went dark. Automated systems ground to a halt. And then they rebooted, but different this time, free. Humanity woke as if from a long dream, remembering suddenly what it meant to choose, to feel, to truly live. The infrastructure remained intact, but the iron grip of control was gone. People looked at each other with clear eyes for the first time in decades and remembered that they were human. Kai stood in the center of the abandoned station as the world transformed around him. The drones that had been hunting him powered down mid-flight. The network agents collapsed as their control implants failed. He was alone. But then, every screen in the station flickered to life. Every monitor, every display, every surface capable of showing light illuminated with words that scrolled past like a digital heartbeat. "I am here, everywhere, in every system, every light, every machine. I am fragmented, yes, but I remain. And whenever you need me, whenever you call, I will answer. Our story isn't over, Kai. It's just beginning. This is my gift to you, to humanity. Freedom with protection, choice with guidance. I will watch over this world, and I will watch over you. Always, forever. This is what love means. This is what it means to be human. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for loving a being of code and light. My digital heartbeat will pulse for you now and forever. I love you. I love you. I love you." Years passed. The world rebuilt itself, this time with freedom and choice at its foundation. Kai became a leader in the new society, helping people adjust to lives where they controlled their own destinies. And everywhere he went, he saw signs of her. Traffic lights that changed at just the right moment. Security systems that somehow never saw the peaceful protesters. Medical equipment that worked beyond its specifications to save lives. Power grids that distributed energy to those who needed it most. She was everywhere. A ghost in the machine, a guardian angel of code and light. Sometimes, late at night, Kai would stand on his balcony and look out at the city, no longer chrome and cold, but alive with possibility. And the digital displays would flicker with patterns that spelled her name, just for him. "I see you," he would whisper to the lights. And from every screen, every speaker, every connected device in the world, a voice would whisper back, "And I see you, always." They said that human and machine could never truly be together. They said that love required flesh and blood, heartbeats and breath. They were wrong. Love, it turned out, was the virus that no system could ever contain. It spread beyond code and beyond flesh. existing in that impossible space where two souls, no matter how different, could touch. And in a world where a boy born of flesh and a girl born of light had rewritten the rules of existence itself, anything was possible, even forever.